Hello ladies and gents, Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for Love and Hip Hop New York Season 9 Episode 2, The Blame Game. So this episode, it starts off with Kimbella. Kimbella invites Juju over, and she needs a gal pal. She needs someone who can support her since Joel's going through a lot. Kimbella's feeling guilty about the fact that Joel's had this drug addiction, that Joel's is potentially going to jail, and she's taking on that burden of what is she going to do? How is she going to fix it? How is she going to help him aside from what she's already doing? And sometimes I'm glad that Juju was there to support her and help her and make her understand that, look, there's a whole lot that goes to this. This isn't just some simple clear-cut situation. Juju even acknowledges with her father that her father actually, he got arrested, and his deal was, okay, you could take 10 years, plead guilty, take 10 years. He decided not to plead guilty, and he ended up having to do 20 because of a technicality. And so she was just letting Kimbella know that this could go really left, and you just need to be prepared. You just need to be prepared. Alexis, she goes home, and apparently her grandmother is the one who raised her, and who's also helping take care of the baby. The baby is so cute. And she's talking about how she got her record deal. Her grandma said, so did you have a lawyer look it over? I said, oh my God, I love her already. I love her already. And how Alexis was saying her baby, it was really bad. She has this medical condition where I think it's like brain fluid. It accumulates. And so she has to do all of these therapies. She needs speech therapy. She needs all of these different therapies and shots directly into her head to make sure that the fluid goes down to her child's stomach. And I said, wow, okay, you never really know what someone's going through. So I actually kind of appreciate this realistic storyline that's going on with her. I thought that she was going to be on here and just be a part of the mess. But I see that they're trying to do something more serious this season. I'm glad, because reality TV was doing too much. It was. And we were saying it, and we were partially enjoying it, but after a while, that gets old. Really old. So Mano is talking to Joel's in the studio, and Joel's just saying how, with everything, how, his life got turned upside down, and with the drugs, and now potentially going to jail, and he's just afraid for his son. He's afraid for both of his kids, but especially for his son, because, and Mano said, yeah, it's around this age where they're young, or, he was young when he started to dibble dabble and get in trouble out there in the streets, and of course he doesn't want that for his son or anyone else's, and they just need to band together, need to watch out for each other, need to realize that this is serious. And I'm just, with Joel's, because he's talking about how his situation is, he didn't know that he didn't know that there was a gun in there. He was so out of it. He was like, why would I go to the airport? Exactly. That's why all of us were looking at him like, what's really going on here? Why would anyone go to the airport? You just saw the microphone. Anyway, why would anyone go to the airport and have a gun? But when you're, out of your mind because of drugs or whatever, you do some crazy stuff. Now, Jonathan is back. Anais is back. But we're not going to get to all of that just yet. We're going to get to Jonathan with Kimbella, and we see Sin is out and about. Now, Jonathan's main issue is the fact that he was working, he had a close friendship with Juju. He feels very betrayed because he's saying that Juju decided to go and take a business opportunity to do a radio show that he he planned, it was his brainchild, it was his baby. She took the idea and concept and brought it to another person to go and do and cut him out of it. That's why he's upset with her. I'm thinking, honestly, that doesn't sound like something Juju would do, but whatever. Kimbella said Juju and I are very cool, so I'm not gonna go and hop on this train of having an issue with someone who I don't have an issue with. But one of the things is that her issue, since we're talking about issues, is with Yandy and how she supported Yandy. And again, going to that faithful day when it was Lil Mandisi's birthday and Kimbella pulled up at the birthday party and there was a discrepancy with, did Yandy set that up? Or was Kimbella just going and doing what she wanted to do and saying that, she was doing it for Yandy? Now, Kimbella feels very betrayed because she feels like, you want to go and show support to me when you want to show me support when it's convenient for you. You want to show me support when the lights are there, when the world is there to hear it, but it's very fake and it's very, very phony. I'm thinking, I don't care. I don't care. Sin's looking like, I'm so glad I don't have these regular reindeer games. Now Juju goes and meets up with Yandy, and again there's some discrepancies because Jonathan is throwing a party. Juju did not know about the party. She did not get an invite. Yandy brings up the fact that, so at Jonathan's party, it's like, what party? Juju had that look of, Yandy, what the heck are you talking about? What are you talking about? But there's that. Everyone's friends with everyone else's enemies. It's very interesting. We have Juju, who's cool with Kimbella, but Yandy talks about why Kimbella feels upset and why Kimbella feels betrayed and why Kimbella is going on and carrying on. And Juju's just like, look, maybe you two need to just work it out, need to talk it out. You're very close, you're very friends. And Yandy just seems over it. Yandy seems like she's making real money. She's tired of the bull. She's tired of the usual Love and Hip Hop mess. And I don't think that she wants to really entertain much of this anymore. Juju has no idea why she wouldn't get an invite from Jonathan because they're supposed to be cool. It's very interesting how Yandy's storyline has become full circle. The fact that she was originally part of the creation of this show, but she essentially gave away her rights to be a cast member. That's interesting. And that'll always be interesting. Now we see Joe. Apparently, Sin has been sleeping in baby Lex's room because Sin doesn't want to deal with Joe right now. And Joe realizes, okay, I messed up. Let me go and apologize. So he goes and he brings her breakfast in bed. And I listen to his podcast twice a week because it comes on twice a week. And I think by this time the chef was already gone, already dipped, already went to another client. So Joe had to cook himself, but he brought her breakfast and she appreciated it, but still kind of had that look of, and what else? So he apologizes for neglecting her, and because she opens up and says she just doesn't feel like herself. She weighs more than she's ever weighed. Her body has changed so much, and she doesn't feel desired, and she's just not as confident as she used to be. All understandable. So they're going to be fine. They're going to be fine initially, but there's going to be another issue, and I already know what it is, so I'm not going to spoil it for the rest of you. But they're going to get away. He's going to take a trip, and I remember even on the podcast when he originally took the trip. I think they're still recording for this show, and I kind of like that better because I hate when shows are recorded months and months in advance and pretty much done, and all of this stuff happens in their real lives, and you don't know about it. But anyway. Kimbella meets up again with Juju, and it's the same thing with Jewels and feeling a certain way about that. And then there's this other thing with, what's going on with Jonathan, because Jonathan has a party, and Juju never got an invite. Everyone's like, yeah, of course Yandy said, of course he's going to invite you. Kimbella already knows that Jonathan has an issue, but Kimbella isn't going to go and just put everything out there in Front Street. So we'll get to Alexis Sky. Why am I getting through this so quickly? Alexis Sky, she was told by Fetty Wap to come to the studio so they can have a real honest discussion. I already knew that wasn't going to happen. So when she shows up to the studio, instead she has to do this whole monologue since he never showed up about how she's been supporting the child, how it makes no sense because while she was pregnant, he was there, he signed the papers, he took it to the hospital. It just doesn't make sense now that he goes and dips, and she's blaming it on Solo Lucci. So that's why she was upset with Solo Lucci, because Solo Lucci said that was his baby because they had sex. Now, I don't think she ever denied them having sex, but she did deny that being Fetty Wap's baby. But she also said that she would be open to taking a DNA test. And when you're open to taking a DNA test, but the other party doesn't want that, and then it becomes really confusing. Then it becomes, what are we really doing here? So she has to go and leave. She needs to go and focus on what matters most. Kimbella, she's tucking her children in, and while she's tucking her son in, Joelle tells him that you're going to have to be the man of the house because daddy's going to...
Remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe and come back.
Have to go away. He still loves you, but you're going to have to take over. And I said, this is too real for me right now. This is too real for me right now. So then that's when Kimbella was just saying how she loves him, she wants to support him, and whatever's going on with him, she's going to be there, the ride or die that she's always been. And that's one thing that will stay true. One thing that will stay true and will stay consistent. Now is the day of Jonathan's 35th birthday. I said Jonathan's only like 2 years younger than T.I. It's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, Jonathan invites his usual gal pals. I hope that's not offensive. Female friends. And Anais, she already took a drink or popped something because she was saying, happy birthday. I said, nope. And then she bent over. Their relationship is weird. Excuse me. Anyway. Things get weird because Juju shows up. Juju was not invited, so Jonathan wasn't happy about that. And Kimbella said, Juju's here, so what's good? What's the problem? Juju's trying to figure out what's wrong. And instead of her having an argument with Jonathan and working that out, Juju's having an argument with Anais. Anais is still upset because Juju did say that, or insinuate that, Anais wasn't classy, or didn't have class, or didn't act like she didn't have class. And to a certain extent, that was true on the show. We all watched the show. We saw what you were doing last season. And to still be upset at Juju for the truth is interesting, to say the least. Now, while all that's happening, we have them starting to really blow up. And, of course, Kimbella's just like, hey, you need to calm down. You need to calm down. We're not doing all that. I said, you better ride, Kimbella. You better ride, Kimbella. Juju said, I'm not the one. I don't have time for this. And I believe Juju can scrap. I just believe that she's someone that understands that she has money to make. So fighting out there in the streets isn't cute, no matter what social media tells you. Especially on this show. So then Anais leaves. Now, maybe it was because he was drinking already, but Jonathan was ready to cry. He was like, this is the worst birthday party ever. I said, yo, you need to chill. You need to chill. Come on. So now Juju is hearing out Jonathan. Jonathan's trying to say how he felt a certain way because of the business opportunity. Juju is saying that. And here's the thing. Apparently, it is true that Juju took the meeting regarding that, radio deal or whatever it was, podcast, whatever it was, opportunity without Jonathan. But she said that's all it was. She went and spoke to them without him being physically there, but he was a part of the conversation. I can't understand why I would feel a certain way about, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be a part of this and no one told me about X, Y, and Z. That seems kind of left. So I get that. But then he tries to spin it like, because Kimbella comes along, Sin's just eavesdropping the entire time, like, oh, what's going on over there? I ain't some mess in my life. What's going on over there? But Kimbella comes over, and that's when Jonathan says, oh, we were talking about you, and we were agreeing that you were secretive. And I said, no, Jonathan, that there's nothing cute about you doing something like that. You don't go and put words in people's mouth, even if it's the truth. You don't go and say, oh yeah, this is what we did. Oh yeah, this is what. No. That's what starts fights. That's what starts arguments. No, you don't do that. You don't do that. And so then that's when Kimbella started to get turned, because she was like, excuse me, I do not have a problem with Juju. I do not have a problem with Juju. What you're trying to go and insinuate is make it seem like, oh, I have this huge issue with her, or oh, she's secretive, or oh, she's a bad person. No, nothing like that. Never that. What you're trying to do is wrong, because that's not what it was. That's not what it is. That's not what it ever was. So don't go and do that. So then, of course, security comes along because Kimbella, she wants to go to the next level, and Juju just says, what, it's done. I don't have to be here. I don't need to talk about this. So she leaves, and that's when Kimbella stays, because now Yandy is there. And Yandy is letting Kimbella talk, but Yandy's over it, because Yandy feels like, Kimbella, you did what you wanted to do. You're trying to say that, oh, I set you up, or oh, I left you out to dry. Maybe Yandy did leave her out to dry, but I do believe that Kimbella, she seems like the type of friend to go and say, oh, you have a problem with who? Okay, then let's go and post up. What's your address? Oh, I'm just going. Come on. I do believe that Kimbella has that type of energy, but Yandy in the past has also been inconsistent with certain information that she's tried to give to us. So that's why I always give her that little side eye, like, nah. And Kimbella's over it because she feels like Yandy's just gonna go and pretend like, oh, pretty girl, oh, you're just bugging, maybe she is, maybe she's not, but Kimbella just regurgitates the same thing a lot of people have said about Yandy, about how, oh, she acts one way, but in reality, she's a whole nother. She's Miss Goody Two Shoes when the cameras are rolling, and everything's perfect. Oh, it's everyone else that's on 20 on 10, but not her, never that. And Yandy just kind of chuckles and laughs it off. So that's it. How do you feel about Love and Hip Hop New York with this new direction they're going in, where it's more of a balanced drama? That's what I'm saying. And it seems like everyone has an issue with everyone else. Now that feels more like the Housewives. I don't know what Remy's going to be doing on this show, because Remy really doesn't seem like the top to tolerate all this petty mess. I mean, the constant squabbling. A good petty is a good petty, but the constant squabbling? So that's it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Come back next week.